Guys, it's Stephanie and I'm here today to do my crafty goals. I figured I might as well do it today before it ends up being February and a month has gone by already in the year. So I have everything written out, but before I start I wanted to just show you guys, this is the beanie that I made for well, obviously this one's for myself, but for the sets that I showed you in my whips video last week. I wanted to show you what it looks like on, because once it's knit it totally looks different. So like I have another hat here, like you remember this hat, this one has the beanie, the pom-pom attached, but see how different this looks, more squished together, and how much more open it gets once you put it on your head. I don't know, I thought you guys might think that that was something you needed to know. And also wearing a kerchief that Erin, Give Me Yarn 418, made me in the Secret Santa swap, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. Let me get it. It's plain like stockinette here, and then it goes into a lacy pattern down here, and it's perfect because it's not too thick. It doesn't make me like sweat really bad, because I'm always hot anyways. My upper body's always hot, so this is nice and light. She sent me the rest of the skein that she used, so it's actually the Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable. So this is the same yarn that I'm using for that shawl that I showed in my whips, but this colorway is called Echo, and it's got greens and pinks and purples and gray. And I love it. So I thought you guys might want to see that. And I have, she also made me this, a cup cozy, and it's actually really bright purple, so that's not showing up, but it has an S for Stephanie, of course. But it's perfect with this cup, because this cup is metal inside and out, and even the straw is metal. So this is nice, because I always drink cold drinks, so it keeps my hand from getting frozen. So into the goals. I've made my list and I'm gonna get started. So for knitting, for 2016, I want to knit all the projects that I have on my to make list. If there's one thing that you know about me, I make lists for everything. Everything is listed, and I even make little check boxes next to everything, just because, I don't know, maybe it's an OCD thing, I don't know. But everything is made into a list, and it is color coordinated for importance or category or whatever. So I have a lot of things, on my to make list for people that have said, hey, you know, do you think you can make me this or that, after I've posted something like, for example, this beanie. A lot of people have said, hey, can you make me this beanie or scarf? And there's kids walking by singing, so I'm gonna pause it right now. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if today is an early day. I mentioned in a past video that I live across the street from a middle school, so the kids walk by here sometimes. So anyways, back to my to make list. A lot of people, after I post things, will say, that's awesome, can you make me one? And so I'll write it down on my list, but I get so sidetracked with other things that I just am not able to start what I was supposed to be making for them. So that is goal number one. We're still in the knitting category, so for my second goal, I want to learn how to knit socks. I don't know if anybody else goes through phases where they're like, okay, I want to learn how to do this. Okay, I've done that. Okay, now next thing I want to learn how to do that. I've pretty much, I don't want to say that I started out as a beginner. I like to challenge myself. I've never really knit or crocheted beginner patterns to begin with. I've always started like with an intermediate or something like that. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but usually if I make a mistake, I can YouTube it and see how it's actually supposed to be done, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Because I'm a very visual learner. I have to see it for myself, because if you just tell me in words, do this or that, I'm just like, huh? I need a picture, or I need to physically see the movement to get it. So I need to learn how to knit socks. That's my next thing, because I've knit beanies, I've knit scarves. I haven't knit a blanket yet. I'm almost, because I know what it's like to crochet one, and I feel like they take years upon years to finish. So but I do want to learn how to knit socks. I feel like that would be a fun thing for me. And of course, I didn't think about this until I started watching the Knitting Expat podcast, Mina's podcast. She knits her socks 2 at a time. And at first, the thought to me is very daunting, but I feel like I could do it. I think that for my first pair of socks, I might try to do 2 at a time. So we'll see how that goes, and obviously I will make a video and let you know how that goes. Excuse me. So along with that goal, I want to knit at least 1 pair of socks this year, which I think is going to be doable. And I made the goal very low because I don't know if I would be able to knit another pair, because I don't know if I'm going to love it or hate it. From what I've gathered from other sock knitters is that I'm going to be addicted. So we'll see. We'll leave it at 1 pair. That might obviously be different at the end of the year. And another thing I want to do is to knit a monster from my monster book. Erin, Gimme Yarn 418, also got me this book in my Secret Santa swap 2 years ago. It was on my Amazon wish list, which you can also link in your answers for the questionnaire that she puts together for the swap. So I'm very grateful that she got me this book, because otherwise it would still be sitting in my Amazon wish list. But I mean, most of you knitters probably already have this book. Look how cute all those little monsters are. I mean, come on. So stinking cute. Let me see. I don't have one picked out per se, because I love all of them. But I probably would want to knit this guy first. Maybe it's because Easter is around the corner. I don't know, and he kind of looks like a bunny rabbit to me. And then I'll probably end up giving it to my son. Everything I knit, he wants me to give to him, or, Mommy, can you make me that too? So, we'll see what ends up happening with that. And then, like, these guys are cute. I love the stripes. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. My son letting me know he finished his lunch. So I gotta hurry up because we have a movie date. He wants to cuddle with me on the couch, and that is something I look forward to, because he only does things like that when he's sick, which he is. So unfortunately he's sick. Fortunately he wants to snuggle with his mom for once. So I'm going to take that opportunity and do that. I'm going to show you one more monster. This guy. I love the striped legs. Love the striped legs. The colors are so good together. That one's called Toothy Joe, the mailbox monster. Hold on 1 second. Again, I apologize. He insisted on coming out again. Anyways, I'll let you know if I start those monsters. with another video. So the next goal that I have is to start my Christmas knitting as soon as possible. That also goes with the first goal of knitting all projects on my to make list. I want to start knitting those Christmas presents as soon as I can, because then when Christmas time comes around, I won't be scrambling like, oh, I don't have enough time, and killing my wrists trying to make all those gifts. So that's a goal. And then I want to finish all my works in progress. Right now I only have 2, but once I start knitting the projects on my to make list, that will obviously increase. So 2 is not that bad. I think I can get that done. Maybe what I meant by that goal was to not have any works in progress by the end of the year. Maybe everything will be finished. So we'll see. And the last thing for my knitting is to start a scrap knit blanket. A lot of people are starting their sock yarn blanket where they're knitting the little miter squares. I don't know if I want to do that or just do something else, because I do have a lot of scraps that I keep and I don't waste, because I feel like that's wasting money and I don't get a chance to buy very many yarns. So I think that once I figured out what pattern I'm going to do, that will obviously go into a works in progress video. I've also made goals for sewing, and I want to purchase a new sewing machine. My sewing machine, my husband got it for me for Mother's Day 5 years ago. We recently had to move in with a family member, so we don't have space for it, and I wanted to put it in our storage, but I forgot about it in our car, and someone broke the window, and of course that's the one thing that they stole. I had it covered and we have tinted windows, so whoever took it must have been watching. So anyways, really good sewing machine was stolen from me, so I would like to acquire a new one, if not the same exact one, if it's going to be on sale again, because if it's not on sale, then it's way too expensive. But I do sew. I know how to sew. I've I've sewn a couple of quilts and pillows and things like that, so I do want to start sewing again. Maybe start sewing my own notions bags and knitting bags and things like that. So I need to acquire a sewing machine. Then I would like to finish any sewing projects that I have started. I have some fabrics that I've bought with projects in mind that I haven't cut out, or I've began to cut out and haven't finished. So I need to finish that, and that's what that goal is about. And then I have sew more exclamation point. So I have been obsessed with crocheting, which switched to knitting, and now I am starting to want to sew more, and I think it's because of the fact that my sewing machine was stolen from me. So that's it for my sewing goals. For my YouTube goals, I want to make at least 2 videos a month. I think I'm surpassed that goal, because I think I'm on video number 6 or 7. Sorry, hold on. Again, I apologize. I apologize for pausing this video so much. When it comes to social media, the only place that I post pictures or videos of my son is on my Facebook, and the only people that see them are my friends, people that I know in real life. I have a fear of my son being on the internet somewhere, and just I don't know if it's an irrational fear, but I mean it's a fear and it's there. So I choose to keep him out of my social media as far as videos and pictures that I post on Instagram or Ravelry. I mean, I think I have one picture of me and him, but it's not just him by himself. So you'll have to excuse me for pausing so much. So like I was saying, for YouTube, I want to make at least 2 videos a month. I think I'll be okay with that. And I think it will also keep me motivated to do more works in progress, to do more things that I want to do, more projects, because there are so many things that I want to do, but I just don't have the time. But I feel like if I am held accountable with videos, that it will get done. I want to reach at least 100 subscribers. I didn't put a date, but I think right now I have under 20. I don't know the number, but it would be nice to have a lot of subscribers. Some people have thousands and thousands, and it's like, wow, that's so crazy that all those people are interested in what you have to share. So that would be cool to have at least 100 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think it'll be done. If not, it's not a big deal either. As long as whoever is subscribed is really interested in what I'm saying, that's all that matters. And I want to make at least 2 tutorials. I didn't specify what kind, but I have some on my YouTube channel from when I first started out my blog where I'm not talking. And I think I want to, and I think I'm using dark yarn and really bad lighting. So now that I've kind of figured out how to position the camera and lighting issues, I think that I will try to do more tutorials at some point, or maybe even redo those ones. For my blog goals, I want to write at least 1 post a month besides my YouTube video posts. So what I've been doing recently is whenever I post a video, I'll make it in a post on my blog. Before, when I first started my blog, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I had a lot of time on my hands and I had internet. So I would do things like tutorial roundups, things for like Halloween or something like that, crochet roundups, crochet themed roundups for like Halloween, 4th of July recipes that I've found. Everything I found on Pinterest and wrote a post about it. Excuse me. And that's where my first videos came from teaching crochet through my blog, through videos and words. If you want to check that out, that's linked below in the description box where my blog is. Just click on the tab, I believe it says Crochet 101. And a lot of the tutorials are in the free tab. It's all sectioned, you know, crochet, knitting, food, or something like that. So I want to be able to write more blog posts. Right now where I'm living, there's no Wi-Fi, no internet. So I do everything from my phone, which would be very, very, very laborious to try to do any kind of tutorials or anything like that. So right now it will have to just be quickie type posts or just the YouTube posts. But eventually I want to get back into like real blogging. For my other goals, very top of the list is to visit a yarn store. The only yarn stores I have visited are Joann's and Michael's. I really, really, really want to visit a Hobby Lobby because I know a lot of people who don't have Joann's or Michael's go there, and I want to check it out. I want to see what it's like. I want to visit a yarn store because I have never, ever even seen one on the street. But I do love the way that the yarn looks when it's in those hanks. I don't have like a budget for yarn, but one of my goals for this section too is to set aside a yarn craft allowance so that I am able to purchase whatever kind of yarny things that I need. And I apologize for that opening and closing sound because my son keeps poking his head out to see what's going on out here. So there's that. Set aside a yarn craft allowance. Do any of you do that, or do you kind of just go shopping and then that's that? Because I don't know how much I would be able to set aside if every 2 weeks or so. But I do want to set that aside because I feel like there are a lot of things that I want as far as yarn and crafts go, and I'm unable to usually get it because that money usually goes to things like bills or whatever. So I want to start doing that this year. I want to purchase at least 2 paid for patterns. I have a lot of patterns pinned on Pinterest that are paid for patterns that I really, really, really want to start or purchase and start because they're really, really cool. And then I also have a lot of favorited patterns on Ravelry that are paid for patterns. So 2 I think is good. If I can purchase more than that, then that would be awesome. And I would like to purchase an item from my Amazon wish list. Again, I pin like crazy, and when I pin, I add it to my wish list if it's on Amazon. I want to be able to purchase one of those things that I have pinned, and I believe they're mostly books, but I have been looking at knitting machines. That's another thing that I want to start to try knitting machine, or the Addy machines. Those look pretty cool. So purchase an item from my Amazon wish list. I would also like to purchase an item from my Knit Picks wish list. Like I said, have not purchased any kind of top of the line yarns ever. Never done any online yarn shopping. But I do have a Knit Picks wish list, and I started it because of the Secret Santa. So I would like to purchase some yarn from there. I've also seen some people purchasing the ice yarns. Those yarns come like 6 in a pack, 4 in a pack, and they're really, really, really decently priced. Have any of you used any of those yarns? I know Amy from Amy's Woolly World, she usually shares when she purchases yarns from there. So I don't know like the look and the feel of them. I'm only going based on their picture from online, but I would like to know if you think those yarns are worth their price, because they are priced very low. I don't know if that means that their quality is not very great. So if you could let me know, that would be awesome. I would also like to purchase a hand-dyed hank of yarn. I mentioned in a video before that I'm obsessed with Expression Fiber Arts yarns. The way that her colors are just fantastic. I would love to purchase one of her hanks. I can't think of any other dyers off the top of my head that I would purchase from, but definitely want to purchase at least one hand-dyed hank of yarn. And like I said, I don't have... Go inside. I don't have a yarn budget. So those hanks of yarn are a lot more expensive than, say, $4.99 skein of yarn from Joann's. So that would be awesome if I could buy more than one. I also want to start an inventory, and to go along with that, open online store. I have a online storefront set up and ready to go. I just don't have items to put in it, and it's not live. I have it ready to go, but I still have a lot of things as far as the business side is concerned to figure out. Shipping, taxes, all that. And because I don't have internet, that's kind of been put on hold. And I need to make inventory for it. Otherwise, what am I going to sell? Right? So I was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years. And once I started crocheting, that was kind of like my dream. To be able to work from home and to do something that I really love. And to be able to make money from it. All the while being at home with my son. So fast forward 5 years later, I still don't have an online store. I'm still knitting and crocheting though, and I have a part-time job, which makes making those items more difficult. But I do want to try and at least go live this year with my online store. So if that happens, I will let you know. And hopefully you guys can check it out. And last but not least, I need to organize my yarn stash. I have 2 tubs and maybe a couple of project bags, project totes in my storage, full of yarn, all the way to the top. My cousin's grandmother was getting older, and she did not have use for her yarn stash. So she donated all of her yarns to me, and that's how I acquired all of that yarn. And then I have, of course, about half of what she gave me half of that size worth I have acquired on my own. So I have 2 bins in storage, and then I have like, I want to say like 7 or 8 bags. Some of them are still in the bags from the store here in the house, in my little corner. So I would show it to you, but it's a little frightening. Maybe once I organize it, I'll show it to you. But that's it for now. Oh, I also have, this was in my Secret Santa. This is a skein of Premier Yarns. It's called Isaac Mizrahi Craft. I don't know if you can see that because the lighting, there we go. So it's 1 ply, but it's very thick 1 ply. Purple, blue, green, yellow. And the color is West End. This was also in my Secret Santa pack from Erin. So I would definitely like to make something from that. Get inside. Sorry. I would definitely like to make something from that this year. If I do, it will end up in a work in progress video. And that's it for now. I apologize today for all of the pausings and startings and stoppings. I guess from now on I will have to do videos while someone is in school. Today he stayed home from school because he's sick. I don't know when I'd be able to make another video, so I thought I would do one today, but I guess that's life, huh? Nothing really ever seems to go your way. So I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. If you haven't made a crafty goal list, I suggest doing it. I know for me, seeing it on paper, writing it out, will help me be more accountable for them, because I know I have the most horrible memory. So if I just say, oh yeah, I'm going to do that, then I'll probably forget. So try and do it. And if you haven't made any videos yet, try and do that, because I thought that I would not like doing videos because I'm so shy when it comes to talking to my phone camera and not having anybody on the other end. But after a few interactions, I do feel like you guys are out there watching and you guys are out there listening, so I'm not really talking to myself. So thank you for anybody who has subscribed. Thank you for anybody who has watched all of my videos all the way through. I know this is going to be the longest one. There's a lot that happened in this video, so I apologize for it being so long. But I do appreciate that you have watched it this far. And as always, you can always look in the description box for any description box for any show notes, and anywhere that you want to link up with me on social media, that will be in there also. Have a great Friday, January 15th, and have a great weekend. Until next time, bye.